In the heart of Ming Dynasty China, a young girl lived a simple life, her world framed by rice fields and river mist. Her days were filled with the simple joys of childhood, playing barefoot under the sun, her dreams woven from family warmth and the familiar hum of her village. But destiny, as it often does, had other plans. One day, a royal carriage, shimmering like black glass, shattered the tranquility. A messenger from the emperor had arrived. Her parents, caught between sorrow and a sense of duty, wept as she was chosen to serve in the palace. For them, it was a path to honor and fortune for their family. For her, it was the end of a world she knew and the beginning of a journey into a gilded cage ruled by silk, secrets, and the silent art of survival. Stepping through the gates of the Forbidden City for the first time was like entering another realm. The sheer scale of it was breathtaking. Golden roofs clawed at the sky, and crimson walls glowed under the sun. Guards stood like stone statues, their faces devoid of emotion. It was a city within a city, and every corner whispered rules. Every glance carried a hidden weight. Here, in this world of intricate ceremony and unspoken hierarchy, beauty and behavior were currency. The young attendants, mere children, were meticulously trained to walk with a dancer's grace, to speak with honeyed precision, and to never, ever forget their place. The smallest slip, a misplaced word or a clumsy movement, could cost them dearly. Yet, amidst this sea of strict discipline, the young girl from the village began to shine. She learned faster than anyone, her quiet focus and gentle manners drawing the attention of her mentors. She absorbed the complex etiquette not as a burden, but as a language, the language of survival. Life in the palace was a dazzling, yet relentless, performance. Her day began long before the first light of dawn, a blur of endless routines. She cleaned ornate chambers, prepared delicate teas, and arranged flowers with an artist's touch. She spent hours learning the complex web of court etiquette, memorizing ranks, titles, and rituals. By night, exhausted but determined, she would study the senior attendants, observing their subtle gestures, their carefully modulated tones. She quickly understood that true power in the Forbidden City ain't wielded with a sword, but with a smile, a whisper, a well-timed glance. Jealousy was the air they breathed, a constant, simmering tension, hidden beneath glittering robes. Friendship was a luxury few could afford in a world where everyone was a potential rival. But she chose a different path. Instead of competing for attention, she chose patience. She learned to listen more than she spoke, to observe more than she acted. This patience became her shield, her quiet strength in a place where a single word could be forged into a weapon. Years drifted by like cherry blossoms on the wind. The frightened child from the countryside slowly transformed into a poised and graceful young woman. The emperor's household began to take notice of her calm nature and her genuinely respectful heart. It wasn't just her flawless execution of duties, but the serenity she brought to every task. When she was assigned to assist at royal banquets, high-pressure events where a single mistake could bring disgrace, her composure was unshakable. Soon, nobles and high-ranking officials began to whisper her name, not with envy, but with a quiet admiration. Her grace didn't make her powerful in the traditional sense, but it made her unforgettable. She wove a network of quiet allies, not through plotting, but through small, consistent acts of kindness, sharing a piece of advice with a nervous new attendant, helping a rival who had stumbled, or calming a dispute with a gentle word. In a world that often valued silence over sincerity, her quiet compassion was a rare and precious commodity. But make no mistake, palace life was never truly gentle. Ambition was a ghost that haunted every hallway, and rumors spread like wildfire, consuming reputations in their path. A single careless word, a misunderstood gesture, could undo years of meticulous effort. Many around her schemed and plotted, desperate to climb the ladder of favor. Yet she held fast to her dignity, her inner compass unwavering. Her courage wasn't found in loud defiance, but in quiet endurance. It was in her ability to remain kind when cruelty was the easier path, to offer a helping hand when others would push a rival down. She found strength not in seeking power, but in her purpose, believing that her integrity was worth far more than any fleeting status. She understood that, while favor could be won and lost, dignity was something you carried within, something no one could take from you. Eventually, her unwavering loyalty and profound grace reached the ears of the emperor himself. He acknowledged her not for her beauty or her wit, but for the quiet strength and stability she embodied. She was granted a position of trust and responsibility. It was not the love of a monarch or the luxury of a concubine that she had sought, but something far more valuable, a sense of security, a place where she could finally live without constant fear. With her new position came not just privilege, but a profound duty. She began to guide the younger girls, the new arrivals, who looked just as lost and frightened as she once had. She taught them the lessons etched into her own heart, that real strength is found in patience, that silence can be a powerful protector, and that hope, even in the darkest of places, can outlast any hardship. She passed on the wisdom of survival, tempered with the compassion she had refused to let go of. Seasons turned, emperors grew old, and the great wheel of the dynasty shifted like wind over ancient stone. Through all the turmoil, all the changing tides of power, she remained a steady presence, a quiet anchor in a storm of ambition. Her life, once so small and insignificant, became a legend whispered through the grand corridors of the Forbidden City. They told the story of the village girl who entered the palace with nothing but fear in her heart and left behind a legacy of quiet strength. She was never a queen, never a ruler whose name was inscribed on monuments. She was something rarer, something more profound, a survivor who carried her grace through every storm, whose kindness was her silent, unshakable power. And though her individual story eventually faded into the vast tapestry of history, her spirit endured. It lives on in the whispers of the wind through the palace eaves, a testament to a different kind of courage. Her life is proof that heroism isn't only found on battlefields or in grand, sweeping gestures. Sometimes, the greatest courage is found in the steady, quiet heartbeat of someone who endures. Someone who rises each day to face their fears, who chooses compassion in a world that often forgets its meaning. In the heart of the Forbidden City, walled in by silence and ceremony, she became more than just a name in the palace scrolls. She became a symbol of resilience, a timeless reminder that even in the most oppressive of places, a hopeful human spirit can always find its voice. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more tales of hidden history and quiet courage. We'll see you next time.